Well, so many signs right now that seem to discount what we thought, that we were in this so-called recovery, especially the GDP report on Friday, much worse than expected. What does it mean for the business cycle? Businesses spending money, all that cash they have on hand, and actually hiring in a meaningful way. Let's bring in Lakshman Achuthan, the managing director of the Economic Cycle Research Institute. What do you make of it, Lak? I mean, you're very good at looking at these business cycles and looking forward. What do the latest economic reports tell you about where we are?
Well, they're just confirming what people have been trying to deny, which is that we're in another slowdown. And I think there's always been this hope among economists and forecasters that the economy is going to rebound maybe in the second half. And all of our indicators are saying this slowdown is going to persist. I think all the data coming out, including the GDP data we got last week, is all coming out and saying the slowdown is very real, and it's more than you thought. So
you say when you want to look specifically at just how significant the slowdown is, look at the services sector, because that employs so many Americans. What are you seeing there?
Yeah, this is really spooky because we had a nice revival in growth coming out of the last year into early 2011, so much so that we saw jobs reviving for over half a year. They were just getting stronger and stronger and stronger. Between February and March, we had 250,000 jobs created every month. Service sector jobs, 3 out of 4 of us work there. It was going pretty good. And you saw the unemployment rate coming down. Now, service sector jobs growth is, if we're lucky, a third of what it was a third of what it was last spring. That really tells you and confirms that slowdown. And what's going on are companies, are saying, whoa, they have the muscle memory from the last recession, and they know that some companies didn't make it through, so they want to really hoard cash. Unless they have business beating down their door, they're not going to hire anyone. And right now, we're seeing businesses not beating, people aren't showing up and buying a lot.
And when you have companies with all this cash and they're not using it to hire, you're stuck.
We are, I think stuck is a really good word here. It's not a technical word, but I think it describes it perfectly. We are stuck because even our demand abroad, right? You have emerging markets that are growing strongly. However, they're growing less strongly. They are slowing too. China is slowing. India is, they're all putting on the brakes because of inflation fears there. They're stomping on their economies and slowing them down. In Europe, they are struggling with the fact that they too are slowing. The whole world pretty much is slowing down, so there's no locomotive that's out there that's saying I'll buy everything.
When you look at indicators and when you look at the business cycle, is there anything encouraging to you?
The best news I can tell you is that we haven't forecast a new recession yet.
Should we be talking?
Yeah, I think we need to. I need to say that I cannot rule one out next year.
Give us a percentage possibility that you think we could see a new recession.
I am more concerned about a recession in 2012 than I was last year when I was saying, look, there's no double dip here. It's not happening.
When do you think that this turn took place, Lak?
You see, the GDP numbers are horrible at the beginning of the year, but the jobs numbers were very clearly reviving. They've been reviving for a little over half a year. We got to that 250,000 jobs a month, and we weren't able to hold it, and it slipped back down. And that kind of pattern, by the way, has been around for a decade. So that pattern, the struggle we have with creating jobs or with companies wanting to hire people, that's been around since before the Great Recession. I don't think everybody gets that.